Welcome back, Airbnb family. We finally have proof that hotels have been lying to get Airbnb banned, and this could change everything, including reversing the bans in like New York City or other cities. Check this out. This is from Airbnb's newsroom. Airbnb has claimed that by New York banning Airbnb, it has removed $1.6 billion from like these outer boroughs of New York City. And there's more. I'm going to tell you all about it. There's links to these news clippings in the description of this video, so you can share those with all of your host friends. My name's Sean Rocky. This is the biggest channel to learn Airbnb, and we're going to cover some Airbnb news too. So please like this video if you want to support Airbnb's fight against New York City bans. So long story short, click on these links. Airbnb has found that when New York banned Airbnb, that not only did rent and home prices not go down, but hotel prices went up as much as 20%. A 20% spike in hotel average nightly rates, while home prices didn't drop. Remember, hotel lobbyists were trying to say that banning Airbnb would be good for communities, it'd be good for housing prices and all this other BS, right? Well, obviously, hotels wanted to make money, and this is the ends. This also happened in New York and British Columbia, and Kelowna, Ottawa, that whole area. And in some of the articles I just shared with you, there's proof that hotel rates spiked nearly as much as 400% that next year after banning Airbnb. Now, there's a couple reasons why. It's not just about money. Hotels cannot fight Airbnb in a couple different ways. Now, if you watch my last live, yesterday's live, we go all about what happens with Airbnbs versus hotels having kitchens and extra square footage and all this privacy. That part, we already talked about it. Go watch that video. But there's another thing. Hotels cannot compete with Airbnb because it's so much faster. There's this thing I teach my students called blitzing, which is finding places that hotels generally aren't or don't have a standard of quality of product based on the fact that societies change. Hey, what's up, Victor? Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for tuning in. So for example, Fishtown, Northern Liberties, Philadelphia, there was no hotels because it was crime-ridden. And then all of a sudden it became like the coolest spot. Best restaurants, really cool areas to walk, beautiful bridges, stuff like that. And then it happened in East Downtown Houston, which was really, really sketchy, right next to the George R. Brown Center. So there's no hotels on the east side of the George R. Brown Center because it was really dangerous. Then all of a sudden it became a hipster neighborhood too. This happened in Oak Cliff in Dallas, South End, Charlotte, North Carolina, it happened in Detroit, it happens everywhere. And where hotels would take 3 or 4 or 5 years to build, for example, if you ever wanted to build a multifamily, it could take you years to pull permits. Imagine trying to pull permits to build a hotel. It just takes forever. And if we look at other industries, this happens in other industries too. Think about the weed industry in Colorado and California. You know, Big Tobacco was trying to ban that marijuana industry until they could manufacture their own. Now, if you look at, I don't smoke anything like that, but I know this because I followed it. Like all these companies that sell tobacco also sell cannabis now. They just wanted to get lined up first before they let all the red tape go away. Hotels do the same thing. Hotels don't want short-term rentals in a neighborhood that they don't have hotel presence because that means that there's preference to book something. Now, one of these photos that I just showed you is probably in my thumbnail right now. That bridge is in Dumbo, New York. Really cool neighborhood, but of course no good hotels, but great Airbnbs. And of course, New York had to take that away. New York wants to take this away until they have, or until the hotels have the ability to fight back. And like we talked about yesterday, Marriott Homes and Villas is a platform founded by Marriott. They've got postcard cabins. They have 1,200 cabins now, which are short-term rentals. And Hilton's been anti-Airbnb as much as possible, but they're trying to pick up properties too. It's just the truth. We've been lied to. And this is what could turn everything around. Once the cities see that it's leading to less money overall, because one of the arguments was you can't collect taxes from these Airbnbs. It's so hard to get hotel revenue. Dallas, I'm going to tell you a story about Dallas here in a second. But that whole design, it's coming to be not true. There's just less money. Even if hotels pay their hot taxes, there's less money to tax. The $1.6 billion that didn't go into these small upcoming neighborhoods. New York wants that money for those neighborhoods. Now, Dallas did it real sneaky. Dallas banned Airbnb, but kicked it down the road, but scared everybody well and good. And then people started to sell their properties, claiming that these made money on Airbnb, and some of my friends got caught. Now they have liens on their property for back short-term rental taxes that they didn't pay. And now Dallas is not banning the injunction that got kicked down the road. It just looks like it's lost in the abyss. So Dallas still got some money out of the deal, which is what they wanted at the end of the day. And I want all of you to really understand this. It's all about money, isn't it? Cities want their money, states want their money, hotels want their money, us small Airbnb hosts, we do it for the money, don't we? And at the end of the day, if cities are losing money because Airbnbs and short-term rentals aren't in place, they're going to reverse because they want the money. And you know what? There are some cities that are just better with Airbnb than they are for hotels because it's where families like to go, families like to cook, where families like to make those memories with enough space. They want their own private pool. Like Coachella, one of my students will make like $170,000 the week of Coachella because he's got a really cool property. But nobody wants to stay in a hotel. They're not going to pay $170,000 for the week, but I'll tell you, there's a group of people absolutely will pay good money for that Airbnb. And that's value creation. If somebody pays a percentage of that $170,000 in hot taxes, there's no way a hotel could have even cleared even close to that. Nobody would do that. So, of course, at the end of the day, Coachella Valley makes a ton of money on Airbnbs because it's what people want. Remember that, guys. Money talks. Now, until then, if you want to learn my Blitz strategy, it's been great for urban areas. It's not necessarily like a middle of nowhere strategy because we are taking advantage of the fact that hotels can't beat us for at least 3 or 5 years. And that's one thing I want to really land on to end this, the one last thing I'll leave you with. Short-term rentals are great. Buying them's cool, co-hosting's cool, arbitrage is cool. Now, a lot of people are trying to claim that arbitrage is dead, but I can go into 8 different cities right now, spool up 30 properties where no one else is competing, make $1 million and get out before a hotel can get there. Arbitrage isn't necessarily a forever in one place strategy. It's like a, stick and move kind of strategy. With that said, thank you so much for watching this. Watch yesterday's live stream if you want to learn more about how Airbnb hosts can beat hotels. And as always, my friends, I'll see you on the other side.